reflection for week two. It's been an interesting week. We've looked pretty much at how to structure a blended learning solution. Let's play the Ponziani. Um, and we've looked at the key questions in order to get that project sort of fleshed out. We're going to do this and we're going to push whichever pawn. We're going to do this. Um, Yeah, so it's been interesting. We've looked at Clive Shepherd's three L's, and that prompted me to go and take a look at. Oh, that's interesting. I've not seen that before. Very strange. He looks like he's coming back to attack this one here. Um, Odd. I guess I'll just do this. Well, these are both defended more times than he's attacking it. Yeah, Clive Shepherd's three L's. So learn more about that. I didn't know anything about Clive Shepherd before this week's learning, so that was interesting. That prompted me to go and look up a video of Clive's on YouTube, which is a learning technologies piece where he talks about his approach. Um, and that in itself was interesting as well. Um, in that he talked about synchronous versus asynchronous learning, where it has a place, um, which which I thought was kind of cool, because it got me thinking about how it might apply to my own work. Um, and also the idea of certifying competence rather than attendance, which is not new. This has been covered, mentioned before, um, but it's a really interesting idea, and it got me thinking about how that could apply in my own workspace to not just learners but to trainers as well. Keeping in mind the whole time about how these blended learning solutions, how the solution contributes to key business objectives. Um, I think that's quite an important element that we ought not forget. Um, this and then this. So I think a sensible approach here might be we can take relieving some pressure. Um, Even this or this. I don't see how he is going to defend. Could be this, which would be interesting. Let's see what he does. What else have we done this week? So we had a live session. I watched the recording of that, which was Ian Turner. Our Denise was away. Um, it was an interesting um, live session. Um, ooh, okay. He's very quick to get going there. Hmm. Well, we have this for starters. Um, And there were a few key takeaways on that piece, but one of them was about the learning experience platform, an LXP rather than an LMS, which which was interesting, um, very interesting, because I hadn't heard about this, so I researched that on YouTube as well, and it seems like a really good idea. I imagine it's somewhat pricey. I think it's time to castle now. Yeah, I think it's time to castle. Yeah, somewhat pricey, I would have thought, but it was all interesting to learn in that session some case studies, ASOS, Sky as well. So Sky using, is this a free piece? Is this a free piece, folks? I think it is. Yeah, Sky using. Oh, there we go. He's resigned. So yeah, Sky using like a personalised learning approach, which was fascinating. Um, again expensive, but it was explained that this is the future, and I can get behind that for sure. We learned about all of the factors we need to consider when when we're planning, designing a blended learning solution, which links into ADDIE. So we got a refresh on the ADDIE model, which seems like a really appropriate tool to utilize around the implementation, design, planning, evaluation of a blended learning solution. Um, Things like technology, what technology is in place? Are staff trained to use that technology? Do they have access to that technology? Do they have the right, devices, the right equipment? You know, what does their work look like? Are they working hybrid? Are they in a centralized office? Are they mostly working from home? They're all factors to consider which center around the learner. Um, we look at the learning. What is the right approach? What mediums are we going to use? How is it going to impact on the day-to-day business delivery? And a really interesting piece of learning this week was sort of a randomized brief that we were given, which sort of depended on our names and birthdays, and we had to design a blended learning approach and look at how it would be implemented. And sort of what sort of key questions we need to ask, the principal stakeholders, the chief executive, around designing the solution. Um, yeah, so it's all in all, it's been an interesting week, and now I'm going to have to go ahead and conduct a laborious writing out of the assessment criteria. A necessary evil, I think. Yep, that's it. I will speak to you soon. Cheers.